Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're the show that digs through piles of information so you don't have to, pulling out the nuggets you really need. Especially today, with business moving so fast, it's tough keeping up with every single tech event, right? Our mission here is to give you that shortcut, make you genuinely well-informed, maybe with a few surprising bits along the way. And today, this deep dive is specifically for you, our listener from One Cloud Talks by One Cloud Consultants. We're zeroing in on Zoholics UK 2025. We've sifted through the keynotes, the presentations, the discussions, basically everything. Our goal, to distill it all down, giving you a solid grasp of Zoho's vision and, crucially, what their product plans mean for UK businesses right now. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely. So to really get Zoholics UK 2025, you first have to understand the economic picture they painted for the UK. And honestly, it's challenging.
How so?
Well, UK GDP growth dropped noticeably from 0.7% in Q1 down to 0.3% in Q2. And if you look longer term, like since 2019, the UK's growth is lagging quite a bit behind the Eurozone, about 6%, and even more behind the US, which is up 13%.
Wow, that's significant.
It is. Add in sticky inflation, tight margins, you get the picture. Businesses are definitely feeling the pressure.
Okay, so in that kind of environment, where does technology fit in? What's the government's take?
That's exactly it. The UK government sees tech adoption as, well, essential, a key way to spark innovation and growth. They even put out a technology adoption review back in June 25 exploring this.
And that review really spelled out the roadblocks, didn't it? I remember seeing things like, obviously, cost. That's always a big one, especially when cash flow is tight.
Definitely cost, but also a big lack of skills. Not just people knowing how to use the tech, but managers understanding it enough to make good decisions.
Right. And then there's just plain old resistance to change inside companies. Plus, those information gaps, not really getting the benefits versus the risks.
Exactly. And don't forget policy uncertainty. Things like AI governance are moving so fast. Plus, basic infrastructure gaps still exist, from broadband to internal systems.
It's a lot to overcome. Did Zoho's own research back this up?
It did, yeah. They did this European digital health study, surveyed 1,500 execs, a fair few from the UK, and get this, only 28% of UK businesses felt they were in good digital health.
Only 28%. Ouch.
Yeah. I mean, it was apparently up 9% from the year before, which is something, but still. That leaves almost three-quarters feeling, well, not great about their digital setup. Their study pointed to the same barriers: cost, time, integration headaches, complex existing IT.
So lots of challenges, but what about the flip side? For the companies that are in good digital health, what's the payoff?
Oh, the benefits are really clear. The study showed those companies had 51% improved customer experience, 46% better internal operations, and 36% reported a better employee experience. Real, tangible stuff.
Okay, that's compelling.
And here's a really interesting bit connecting to AI. Those digitally mature companies, they were 7 times more likely to be prepared for AI.
7 times. So getting your digital house in order is basically a prerequisite for doing anything meaningful with AI.
Exactly. You need that foundation. So, pulling it all together, the big message from Zoholics was this. Given the economy, the UK is at a kind of turning point. And the key lever right now isn't necessarily invention, it's adoption. Implementing the tech that's already here.
Adoption, not invention. Got it. Which brings us neatly to Zoho's response, right? They talked about their 5 pillars of resilience.
Precisely. It's their framework for helping UK businesses build that resilience. The first pillar, it's trust.
Trust. Okay, why start there?
Because, remember, lack of confidence was a key barrier identified. Businesses have to protect data, their own, their customers, their suppliers. The risks are huge: reputation, fines, regulations getting tougher all the time.
And Zoho's approach here is pretty unique, isn't it?
It really is. They make a big deal about no ads, no selling your data, it's your data. Plus, being privately owned means there's no risk of, your data suddenly belonging to someone else after an acquisition. It feels built around protecting the customer.
That's a strong stance. Any concrete UK actions backing that up?
Yeah, a big one. They're investing heavily in a new UK data center. It's due to go live Q1 2026. This means UK businesses, especially in sensitive sectors like public sector, finance, healthcare, can keep their data in the UK. Addresses those regulatory concerns head on. Plus, they mention being Cyber Essentials Plus compliant.
That local data center is huge for sovereignty. Good example. Any stories of this trust pillar in action?
They shared one about LG standards. They certify allergen-friendly products. Before Zoho, their approval data was apparently all over the place. Spreadsheets, emails, a mess. They built a secure central approval system using Zoho Creator, saved hundreds of hours, thousands of emails apparently, and just made the whole process more trustworthy by design.
Nice. Okay, pillar number 2.
Pillar 2 is efficiency. So that's study finding. The average small to medium business uses something like 6 to 12 different separate systems.
6 to 12. Seriously.
Yeah, and you can imagine that just leads to slow work, data getting duplicated or lost, teams spending all their time just, keeping the lights on instead of doing more valuable stuff like innovating.
Total drain on resources. So
Yeah.
Zoho's angle is their integration.
Exactly. They're 55 plus products. They're built organically, in-house, not bolted together through acquisitions. So they're designed from the ground up to work together smoothly. That integrated system is a key differentiator they push.
Can you give an example of that?
Sure. They talked about Articat, an interior design software company. They had this Frankenstein's monster, as they called it, of different tools: Sugar CRM, Teamwork, Digital, Dropbox, People HR, Sage, you name it.
Wow, that sounds complicated.
Right? They switched it all out for Zoho One, and the result: a smooth customer journey, one single source of truth for data, tons of automation, and importantly, better employee experience, people doing the job they were hired for, not just endless admin.
Okay, that makes sense. Pillar 3, AI. This is the big buzzword, isn't it? But there's skepticism too. You mentioned 54% of UK businesses wanted to invest, but felt unsure about data and compliance.
Yeah, there's hype, but also hesitation. Zoho's take is pretty practical. They believe AI should be embedded in the apps you use every day, giving you contextual smarts kind of under the surface without you having to pay extra for it. Productivity shouldn't cost a premium, is their line.
I like that embedded idea. Makes it less intimidating. What are some examples?
Well, in Zoho Expense, their AI, Zia, scans receipts, automatically pulls out the amount, currency, location, date, even suggests the expense category. Pretty neat.
A lot of typing.
Totally. In Zoho Mail, it does smart replies, but also, and this was quite cool, it checks your calendar if you're replying to a meeting request. If you have a clash, it suggests alternative times for you.
Okay, that is smart.
And then in Zoho CRM, it flags deals that might be at risk, suggests next steps. In Zoho Desk, it summarizes long conversations, gauges customer sentiment, even drafts responses for agents. It's about making existing tools work better.
So AI enhancing the core apps. What about creating new things with AI?
Yeah, they showed some powerful stuff there too. Part of their CRM for everyone push. An admin can now use a text prompt, like you'd talk to ChatGPT, to create a really quite complex CRM module. For example, create a success story module with fields for customer name, industry, challenge, solution, results, and a request for a case study.
Just from a prompt.
Just from a prompt. Something that used to take hours and deep knowledge of the system's structure, now done in minutes. Same for workflows, prompt something like, send an email alert when a deal over £10,000 is won, and it builds it.
That's a potential game changer for non-technical users. What about beyond embedded AI?
Right. They're moving into what they call agentic AI. Think of these as intelligent bots that can reason and perform tasks across applications. They just launched Zia Agents Studio. It's a no-code platform to build these custom agents.
No code. Interesting.
Yeah, so you can combine data from different places, use over 80 pre-built skills like OCR or anomaly detection, and it can connect to various LLMs, those big AI language models, through something they call an AI bridge. Importantly, it has built-in checks for fairness and bias.
Sounds powerful. Anything else linked to AI?
They also introduced Oola Enterprise. It's Zoho's own secure web browser designed for businesses.
A Zoho browser?
Yeah. The idea is centralized control. Businesses can set policies on website access, prevent data leaks like blocking screenshots or downloads of sensitive info, and manage these rules differently for various teams, like marketing versus finance. It's all part of this rapid AI integration enabled by their underlying flexible architecture.
Okay. That leads nicely into pillar number 4, flexibility.
Exactly. Zoho highlighted the uncomfortable truth that how we work today probably won't be how we work in 2 years. Think geopolitics, think AI. Things are changing fast. Businesses need agility to respond quicker than competitors.
And rigid tech systems can hold you back.
Right, totally. If your systems are slow, complex, and expensive to change, they become bottlenecks. Zoho's aiming for flexibility without friction, letting businesses make changes in days, not months, often by business users themselves, without huge costs.
Is there a story for this one?
Yeah, Theon Procurement. a UK consultancy helping companies reduce carbon footprints. They used Salesforce for about 10 years, but apparently it became a real bottleneck, needing developers for every little tweak.
Sounds familiar.
Right. They switched to Zoho CRM, then expanded to Zoho One. It let them adapt and grow much more easily. One of their leaders actually said something like, no matter what the question, Zoho has to be the answer, because they kept finding the tools they needed were already included in their Zoho One subscription.
That's quite an endorsement.
Okay.
Final pillar.
Pillar 5, superior customer experience. This was about Zoho investing back into the UK. They've grown their UK partner ecosystem by 40%, over 100% for premium partners, and increased their own UK staff by 40% too. They're even opening a bigger office in central Milton Keynes.
So more local presence, more support.
Exactly. They specifically mentioned new local premium support based in the UK. You might have even seen their brand campaigns at train stations, themed around game-changing value. For them, that value brings together the trust, efficiency, AI, flexibility, and the superior experience, all at a predictable cost. They also highlighted sold-out workshops addressing skills gaps and lots of local user groups.
Okay, so those are the 5 pillars.
Yeah.
But there was more philosophical stuff too, wasn't there, for Jason Sindaram?
Yes, exactly. He talked about the thinking behind the products. Zoho sees businesses as needing to do 3 core things. 1, serving customers, so tools for marketing, sales, support like CRM and desk. 2, empowering employees' collaboration, communication tools like email, project management, bundled as Zoho Workplace or Zoho One. And 3, running operations HR, finance with Zoho Books, assets, and custom operational needs, often using Zoho Creator.
And customization is key to making that work for different businesses.
Huge emphasis on customization. It's multi-layered. You've got in-product tweaks, custom modules, workflows, then integrations with other tools, and then the low-code power of Zoho Creator to build completely unique things without needing to be a hardcore programmer, making the software feel like it was truly made for them.
And they use it themselves, right? That Zoho runs on Zoho idea.
Yeah, they really hammer that home. Their 18,000 employees run the whole company on their own tech. It builds confidence. This internal use also shapes their view of what customers want. They assume customers are aspirational, wanting to be the best, innovative, dealing with complexity, often youthful in terms of company age or employee base, not tied to old tech, very demanding on performance and usability, and crucially, seeking value beyond just price transparency, flexibility, affordability through the whole life cycle.
So how do they aim to deliver on that?
Through 3 strategic themes. 1, sophisticated products built as a platform, integrated, reducing complexity. 2, being easy to do business with transparent pricing, no lock-in, lots of choice. 3, a strong service ecosystem, partners, marketplaces, community, their own staff, all there to help.
Okay, let's circle back to AI because Ram Prash gave another perspective, didn't he? More of a reality check.
Yeah, it was quite refreshing, actually. He started by saying AI often doesn't seem to work for me, acknowledging the hype versus reality. His focus was on practical application.
How did he break that down?
He went department by department. Sales and marketing, being a profit center, sees fast adoption, identifying good leads, forecasting, even a sales coach analyzing calls using LLMs on that unstructured data.
Makes sense for sales. What about service? People hate bad AI bots.
Right. His focus wasn't replacing humans, but empowering them. AI providing instant summaries of a customer's history from CRM or service records, finding similar past complaints to speed up warranty approvals, finding nearby service centers, scheduling, using AI to make the human agent faster and smarter. Zoho Desk's intelligent ticket routing and sentiment analysis fit here.
Okay, empowering agents, not replacing them. Finance.
Mostly document processing. He highlighted Zoho Expense again, using OCR for reports, but also AI enforcing policies, checking budgets, flagging disallowed items like alcohol or maybe flight upgrades on receipts automatically during approval.
HR. That seems tricky for AI.
He acknowledged HR is fundamentally human, but AI can help. Auto-generating job descriptions, secure facial recognition for clocking in, or providing policy info via chat like an employee asking, how do I get reimbursed for a new desk?
And IT operations.
Big focus on security, especially with remote work. AI's role in spotting anomalies like someone logging in from Germany and then Singapore 5 minutes later, impossible travel. It sets individual baselines to spot unusual activity.
So practical uses across the board. But he also said you need certain things in place first.
Yes, 3 critical prerequisites, he called them. 1, streamline your processes. Get rid of silos between departments. Make data entry easy, have privacy controls, audit trails. 2, Streamline your data. AI needs unified data. Sync info across systems to reduce errors and improve predictions. 3. Invest in automation. Use the existing rule-based automation tools before expecting AI miracles. Map out your key processes first.
You get the basics right before layering on AI. Makes sense. What did he say makes Zoho's AI approach different?
A few key things. Their Model Context Protocol, MCP. Think of it as a new kind of API or translator that lets AI agents understand and use data from Zoho apps and potentially other systems too. He showed an example of an agent pulling info from Zoho Desk, checking Google Calendar, and sending a follow-up via Slack for a webinar. That shows interoperability.
So not just a walled garden.
Exactly. Then there are non-negotiables. Privacy is paramount. Your data is yours. They don't train their main models on it. Your data only trains your instance of the model for your use. And if you use Zoho's own LLMs, the data doesn't leave their ecosystem.
That's a big reassurance for many businesses.
Huge. Second, value. No doubling prices for AI features. They see it boosting productivity maybe 20–30% based on their own use, not some mythical 10x, so it's included. Third, it's a long game for them, 10+ years in AI R&D. A dedicated 200-person team, not just jumping on a bandwagon.
How does their broad product suite help?
Massively. With 900K plus customers across many industries and apps touching every function, they can integrate intelligence deeply into workflows, focusing on the next best action for a user, whether it's escalating a support ticket or following up a lead. Their agent architecture brings together the LLMs, the MCP data structure, those 80+ skills, and various tools.
And security wraps around all of this.
Absolutely. The trust layer is critical permissions, policies, audit trails. Zoho Directory is key here for granular access control, making sure, say, finance data isn't accessible to a marketing agent, even within the same company.
And owning their infrastructure plays a role.
Big role. Owning their 16+ data centers, including the upcoming UK one, means less reliance on hyperscalers like AWS or Google Cloud, and less dependence on third-party LLM providers. This independence helps them control costs and maintain that value proposition for customers.
They also talked about different sizes of AI models.
Yeah, right-sizing models. They use over 80 specialized AI algorithms for specific tasks. You don't need a giant LLM for simple anomaly detection, for instance. These smaller models are efficient and feed insights into the larger LLMs when needed. They also formally introduced Zoho's own homegrown Zia LLM, launched in July. It's specifically optimized for business context, operating in a smaller parameter range than giant consumer models, making it efficient for enterprise tasks.
Okay, that covers AI deeply. Let's switch gears slightly to pure security. Vivek's session on Zoho Directory sounded important, especially with the average company using, 100 apps now?
Yeah, the app explosion creates a huge security challenge. He used some stark examples, phishing attacks costing major companies millions, even a UK hotel CEO losing his business. The stats are worrying. 43% of cyber attacks hit SMBs, and 81% of breaches involve weak or reused passwords.
A real wake-up call? So what's the answer?
Multi-factor authentication, MFA, is non-negotiable, plus real-time monitoring for anomalies, clear control policies, strong password rules. Zoho Directory aims to provide this.
How does Directory tackle it?
It has several key parts. First, strong security policies. Admins can enforce password length, complexity, and force regular rotation. Second, session management helps block brute force attacks by locking accounts after suspicious login failures.
And MFA?
Crucial. They push their Zoho One Authenticator app. It provides that second layer, push notification approval, passwordless login options, and lets users manage their active sessions. They state it prevents 99.9% of phishing.
What about more advanced controls?
They highlighted a couple of things in early access. Conditional access policy lets admins define when and where users can log in based on location, IP address, device, time of day. The demo showed blocking HR team access outside specific countries or working hours.
Very granular.
Yes. Also, routing policy, enforcing how different groups authenticate, maybe passwordless for sales, standard password for execs, SAML for contractors. Then there's anomaly detection, flagging impossible travel or unusual activity with alerts for admins. And finally, audit logs, also in early access, providing a clear trail of all admin actions for accountability and compliance, showing old and new values for changes.
So practical steps businesses can take.
Definitely. The advice was clear. Enforce strong passwords, mandate MFA, use single sign-on SSO for integrating non-Zoho apps securely, define clear access controls, and actively monitor for anomalies.
Okay. Vivek also talked about unifying customer portals, right? That sounds like it addresses a common frustration.
Oh, absolutely. It came directly from customer feedback. Businesses, and importantly their customers, often juggle multiple different portals for different Zoho apps. Zoho itself has like 16.
16 portals. Wow.
Yeah. So customers face multiple URLs, different logins, confusion about where to find, say, an invoice versus a support ticket. It's messy for customers and a hassle for businesses to manage. Think Zoho Desk for tickets, CRM for partner deals, books for invoices, bookings for appointments, all separate.
That does sound like a pain point. What's the solution?
They announced the Zoho One Unified Customer Portal. It's launching in early access very soon, maybe just 2-3 weeks. The promise is one URL, one login, one admin panel to manage the customer-facing side of initially 7 core apps like CRM, books, inventory billing, with Desk, bookings, and Creator coming soon after.
One place for customers to interact with everything.
That's the vision. And it's highly customizable. You can use your own domain name, not a generic Zoho one. You can theme it with your brand colors and logos. And crucially, you can rename the apps within the portal. So your customer sees invoicing, not Zoho books.
Maintaining the brand is key. What about getting customers onto it?
Flexible sign-up options. Allow self-sign-up. Add moderation steps, auto-approve certain domains, automatically grant access to specific apps upon sign-up. You can also migrate existing portal users or send manual invites.
Will it connect to non-Zoho things?
Yes, it's planned to integrate with custom Zoho Creator apps and also third-party apps that use SAML authentication.
Were there any caveats or limitations mentioned?
They were upfront about a couple of things. Initially, the underlying UI of each individual app, like the look of Zoho Books once you click into it, will remain the same. The unification is mainly at that top portal layer, so maybe not perfectly seamless visually at first. Also, pricing isn't unified yet. If a customer needs access to features in 2 separate apps, they might still need 2 licenses behind the scenes. And mapping custom fields from the sign-up form to individual apps might be basic initially.
Good to know. Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive on Zoholics UK 2025. It feels like a really clear picture emerged.
It does. You have the stark economic reality facing UK businesses, that real need for tech adoption.
Right, and Zoho's response with that comprehensive 5 pillars framework: trust, efficiency, AI, flexibility, and customer experience.
Underpinned by that customer-centric philosophy, the commitment to integration, and the Zoho runs on Zoho principle.
Plus those deep dives into practical AI applications, from embedded smarts to agentic platforms, and the critical focus on security through Zoho Directory.
And finishing with that exciting, practical vision for the unified customer portal, tackling a real user frustration.
Absolutely. We hope distilling all this gives you, our listener at One Cloud Talks, that shortcut to being fully up to speed, actionable insights, those aha moments, hopefully useful whether you're navigating your own business tech or advising clients.
Zoho's strategy, building everything from the data centers up, is certainly comprehensive.
It really is. Which leaves me with a final thought. Considering Zoho's deep commitment to building its own infrastructure, its own data centers, even its own LLMs, how might this unique kind of full-stack approach challenge the conventional wisdom of relying solely on hyperscalers and third-party AI services in the coming years? And, maybe more importantly for this audience, what implications could that have for data sovereignty and real innovation right here in the UK market? Something to definitely mull over.